All right, class, it's November 28th. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend and a little bit of time off last week from our class might help with that, right? Hopefully it did, and hopefully you had a great week. This week we are moving on. We're talking about the future of learning management systems. And so the idea here is that the future of learning management systems will be much more open. And the idea is that students will be able to access their courses long after the courses are done. Or they'll even have opportunities to learn from more open learning materials, which you'll be reading about this week. And so you'll have opportunities to kind of make your own, I guess, goal-oriented reading or learning experiences by finding resources online. And so to that end, you'll have some readings on open learning resources. There's a New York Times article about this, and there's also a role of OER in personal learning article slash video from Stephen Downes about how open educational resources can enhance your own personal learning. And this is, I think, an important concept, especially for teachers, but anyone who is working out in the field can find a lot of learning materials online that they can learn from and use to enhance their practice and grow. And so you'll learn about some of those open educational resources, and as you can see, I believe that the future of learning management systems will be more open. And D2L, for instance, this class that we have is quite closed, as a matter of fact. You can't access it unless you are a student in here and unless you are a current student, right? Because later on you'll lose access to this course after having finished it out. So it's about open access. Anyway, there is also a discussion, and it happens to correlate with the readings. So you're going to take a look at some course materials and a few courses on MIT's OpenCourseWare site, and then critically analyze them and try to be critical. So some of the promises of this movement include a less expensive education, the ability to extend access to educational materials by underprivileged groups, and better sharing of materials / education created back to the taxpayers who help pay for them. Do you think that open educational resources meet these goals? Why or why not? And I said critically. That means, I do want some critique of the OpenCourseWare movement a little bit. I know that your knowledge of this movement may be new, but I want you to take a look at that and see, if there's any critique that you have of how things could be maybe done better for this movement in general and the OpenCourseWare ideas. And then you'll respond to at least 2 other students' posts. Also, we have the Building a Course in a Learning Management System 2 activity. And so that is due as well this week, and then we have a finals week next week. So just looking ahead a little bit more, we're kind of finishing up with the learning management system idea. Next week there'll be some more readings and there'll be some presentations to watch, but it's moving on past the learning management systems. So this week you're going to build a course in learning management system number 2 and finish this assignment. And let's just take a look at what that assignment is. Well, it should be pretty familiar to you actually, because you have just done it in Moodle. You're adding all the learning objectives, the readings, the live sessions, 1 discussion forum, assignments to submit, at least 1 quiz, and a recorded presentation done by you to a learning management system. The only difference now is that you're doing it in a different learning management system. You're going to do it in Desire to Learn, or D2L, where we actually have our course. And so what I have done is I've created a course in D2L, and if you go to your home in D2L, you'll see this course. I've added you as a student there, and you won't have to log in with a separate username or password or anything like that, which is nice. So looks like we're going quite slow here. Come on. Well, I'll go back to the assignment. So the goal of the assignment is really to have you learn the new tools of an LMS and then compare them to the first LMS you use. So in this case, most of you, if not all of you, created the course in Moodle. So now you have to switch over which LMS you use for this next assignment and create it in D2L. And then there's also the same supplemental material that's required to be handed in the Dropbox when you're done, and that includes describing your target audience, provide a summary of the week's activities, and what would you as a teacher do. A lot of times this would be the same, right? This would probably be the same as the last assignment you handed in, or somewhat the same, because it's only just a different tool, but you're using the same activities in the new learning management system. And then this time you're going to add something on. Describe the differences in the tools and workflow between the two learning management systems that you encountered, and indicate which learning management system you would prefer to use to teach and why. So did you like Moodle better or D2L? And talk about why you might want to pick Moodle or D2L over the other one. So then I'm going to take a look at that and grade it according to this rubric here. I'll look at the course activities. Again, this shouldn't be too hard though. You already have the course activities created in Moodle. Now your job is to transfer them over to D2L. And then I'll also look at the extra supplemental information for this assignment. So that's really what to complete for this week, is that learning management system class. Let me show you where to go. So I created a course called the Learning Management System Practice right here. And that should be in your list of courses under 2016 Fall. And then if you go into that course and you hit Content, you're going to see some weeks on the side here. And you'll choose your week and start to create some content within your week in that class. And you should already, again, have access to that week, but make sure that you don't mess with anyone else's week. Just make sure you only put activities in your own week. And if you're not sure how to add activities, again, the last few weeks videos and presentations showed you how to use D2L along with Moodle. And so you just can look back at those, and of course there's always the opportunity to ask me questions as well. So just one last thing before we finish up for this video this week is that I will be holding online office hours on Thursday at 4 to 5. So I'll plan on being in my office and online. And if you have any questions or any issues that come up, you can come to that live session and ask those questions. So that's Thursday at 4. That would be Thursday, December 1st. All right. Have a wonderful week.